Have you ever wondered why your business looks successful on paper but somehow feels heavier than it should? Welcome to the Ease Equation podcast, Wonder led calm leadership for entrepreneurs. I am Preethi Balasubramanian. I hold this space for short, reflective conversations inspired by real entrepreneur challenges. The kind we don't always say out loud but feel deeply as we grow. Today, we are talking about a question that sits at the heart of so many founder experiences. Why does growth sometimes feel heavier instead of easier? Here's what I want you to know right away. If your business is growing and you feel more stretched, more mentally loaded, or more responsible than ever, nothing has gone wrong. This is a very common phase for capable entrepreneurs. On the outside, things look good. Revenue is up. Clients are coming in. Maybe you even added some support. But internally, you're carrying more context, more decisions, more emotional responsibility. Growth doesn't just add opportunity, it adds weight. And most founders aren't taught how to redesign their business as the weight increases. So they assume the problem is them. In my work with entrepreneurs, I see three patterns show up again and again. First, visible leadership load. You're not just doing tasks, you're holding the vision, remembering everything, sensing when something's off, and keeping things moving. That cognitive load doesn't show up on a task list, but it's exhausting. Second, systems that depend on you. You might have tools, processes, or even workflows, but if they only work when you're constantly checking, nudging, or fixing them, they're not supporting you. They are leaning on you. And third, decision density. As the business grows, the number of decisions multiply. Without clear filters and ownership, everything lands back on you. Even things you shouldn't be carrying anymore. Put all of this together and growth starts to feel like pressure instead of progress. Here's where I want to introduce a different way of looking at this, a wonder-led lens. Instead of asking, why can't I handle this better? Try asking, what is this phase of growth asking me to redesign? Wonder-led leadership is about curiosity without self-judgment. It's the ability to pause and say, something feels heavy here. Let me understand why. When founders lead with wonder, they stop forcing themselves to cope and start designing support. Clearer roles, calmer systems, fewer and better decisions, and leadership structures that don't require constant vigilance. This is the Ease equation in action. When clarity in action meets intentional support, the business begins to hold you instead of the other way around. So here's a quiet reflection to sit with after this episode. Where in your business are you still carrying weight out of habit, not necessity? Ask yourself this question. Not because you have to, but because the business hasn't been redesigned for this level yet. That question alone can shift how you lead. If this resonated, you're exactly who this podcast is for. Subscribe to the Ease Equation podcast for calm, wonder-led conversations on real entrepreneur challenges. In the next episode, we'll talk about decision fatigue and why everything can feel unfinished even when you're constantly doing. Until then, remember, calm leadership isn't something you earn after success. It's something you design along the way. Thank you.